Hi folks, it's Pete back with another video. Now originally I was going to do a vinyl update here which is going to look at my purchases in the month since my last video. And I actually did record one on Friday night, but I made such a pig's ear of it that I scrapped it. Wasn't happy with it one bit, so you can imagine how bad it was. I wanted to do that first because on Saturday I went to the Kendal record fair and I wanted to follow that original video with my haul from the Kendal record fair. But as with all the best plans, that's gone by the by. So this video will look at what I bought yesterday at Kendal. And I'll try and follow it up quickly with the other purchases in the last month, which probably might be the more interesting of the two. But before I get started properly, I'd like to say a big shout out and a massive thanks to Diana, who produces videos under the Digging the Crate name, for her giving me a shout out and for knocking up my subscribers from 20 up to 30. Thank you very much, Diana. And if you've never watched her videos, go to them, they're brilliant. Right, so as I said, yesterday I went to the Kendal record fair. It's the fourth time I've been. It's our local one. When I say local, it's nearly 80 miles away, so it takes a bit of getting to. And this time I concentrated on the cheaper albums. I thought I'd try and stay under a tenner for most of the albums I was buying. So there's not going to be probably anything here that will knock your socks off. It'll be common stuff probably, but they fill nice places in my collection. I ended up buying 23 albums. About 20 of which were between £2 and £8 an album. There were only 3, I think, that were a tenner or more. So let's have seeing as there's 23, there's quite a lot to go through. Let's have a look at the ones I got. Now the first one is one I'm very pleased to have got, and that's the new reissue of the first Terrier Ripped album, Bleak House. This was originally released in 1968 and has been re-released on the Round 2 reissue label from Norway. I was going to buy this from online, and I'm glad I didn't, because there it was going from anything from £21 to £30. I got this sealed yesterday for £10, so I'm really happy with that. I've not had a chance to listen to it yet, but all the reviews, everything I've read about it, says it's an excellent album. Very pleased. The next album is one I used to have in my collection, but when I did a cull of records, when I started collecting CDs instead, this must have been one of the ones I got rid of, and I'm so happy to have it back again. It's by one of my favourite artists of all time, and that's Richard Thompson, and this is the compilation Guitar Vocal from 1976. This is an original UK pressing, and this is a mixture of stuff from Fairport through to his solo career, with previously released tracks along with unreleased live and radio session stuff, and it is superb. This one actually, this is the most expensive purchase of yesterday. That was £20, but it's worth it, and it's said to be, and it looks to be mint condition. The cover is mint, so I'm really pleased to have that. Next up This one was only £2. It was Mike Oldfield's Incantations from, what was it, 1978? Oops. None of these albums I've had a chance to clean or play yet, but from my experience last time when I bought a number of £2 albums, they were all in excellent condition, in fact near mint. So another one that'll add to my small but growing Mike Oldfield collection. Next one up is the first Nielsen album I've ever bought, A Little Touch of Schmilson in the Night. Now, Without You is one of my favourite songs of all time, but I've never gone on to investigate Nielsen's music. But I did hear another album the other day on YouTube and I thought that was excellent. Now, this one, I don't know how much I'm going to like it, because it's all standards, like It Had to Be You, Making Whoopee, What'll I Do, As Time Goes By. We're done with an orchestra, so whether I'm going to like this or not, I don't know, but pleased to have it. And I think this is an original UK pressing from 1973. Next up, a nice bit of country rock music, and again my first Emmylou Harris album. I've got 3 or 4 on CD, and this is her, I think, 1978 album, Quarter Moon in a 10-cent Town. This is an Italian pressing, and again was only £2. And it features the superb guitarist Albert Lee, who I saw a year or so ago live here in Cleatamouth, and he was brilliant. Staying with a country theme, another band that I've never had owned anything by, not even a CD, Barefoot Jerry and Keys to the Country. This is from 1976 and it's a US pressing. They're, as far as I know, they're an offshoot of Area Code 615, the band whose track was the opening music for the Old Grey Whistle Test. So I'm looking forward to hearing this. There's a couple of tracks I recognise, like the Battle of New Orleans and Georgia on My Mind. It should be worth having anyway, if not brilliant. After that comes Peaches. This is a sampler of the Capricorn label, and I think this originally was a double album when it was in the States. This is a UK pressing, and it features artists like Dickie Betts, Wet Willie, Allman Brothers, Dwayne and Greg Allman, Marshall Tucker Band, Elvin Bishop, and a couple that I'm not so aware of, like Johnny Jenkins, Fallen Rock I've never heard of, and Hydra. It's a shame it's not an American press with the 2 albums, but that'll be worth having. But again, £2 a book, you can't really go wrong. Next up, the second Blood, Sweat and Tears album. I was never used to be that keen on Blood, Sweat and Tears, apart from a couple of tracks. But again, for £2 I thought I'd give it a go, and I've been getting more into Chicago, or early Chicago recently, so this will probably, I think I'll probably enjoy this. This, if I remember rightly, is from 1969, and this is an original UK pressing. It's had a bit of water damage, you can feel it, but for the price, what the hell, it's the music that matters. Next up, and a favourite singer-songwriter of mine from the 70s, Al Stewart, with his, I think his second album, Love Chronicles, from 1969. Now this is a 1981 reissue on, so it doesn't have the gatefold cover. But this is the album with the title track Love Chronicles, which is about, I think, 18 minutes, and chronicles his love affairs up to that point. But I think he's a superb singer-songwriter, and I'm glad to have picked that up. Next up, an album I used to have on cassette, and I don't usually buy compilations, but this is such a great one. That's Rolling Stones' Rolled Gold. Like I said, I used to have this on cassette, and I've been wanting it on vinyl for a long time. This is covers all their hits from 63 through to 69, along with some of their better album tracks. It is absolutely incredible. You just could listen to it all day long, this one. And that was only £8 for a double, so that wasn't bad. Next one is one I'm taking a bit of a risk on, because I've never heard them, though I've read something about them, and that's Joburg Hawk. Now they're from South Africa, and originally they were just called Hawk until they were signed up by, I think, the Charisma label. And this album, which is from 1973, this is a Charisma UK pressing, it's sort of a mixture of their first two albums. The first album had, which was called African Day or something, had a side-long track. Now, although that's on this album, but I think they've been done as separate songs rather than one whole suite, and there's been another song inserted in the middle. But I think the other two are harder to get hold of. So I saw this and I thought, I've read good things about it. I tend to like my Afro rock, bands like Ossie Bisa. So I'm hoping this will do the trick. Again, I think this one was £10, so this is one of the more expensive buys. Next, a favourite band of mine, Santana, and their album Borboleta from 1974. This is a UK pressing, so again, no gatefold. I love them right up to this period, maybe just a bit beyond. After that they went off a bit, but there's always something well worth finding on here, and you've always got Carlos Santana's great guitar playing. Next, another artist I've liked a lot for a long number of years, Paul Simons. I think this is his third solo album, There Goes Rhyming Simon. This is from 1973, and this is the UK pressing. And I haven't heard this in years, but I remember it being really good. This is the one with Loves Me Like a Rock, which is probably the most famous track on here. Then there's American Tune, Kodachrome, and Take Me to the Mardi Gras. All excellent stuff. And after that, we're back to Santana. Another album I've been wanting for a long while, and that's Moonflower from, I think, 1977. I think this came out, and it's this one's a mixture of live stuff and some studio tracks, including, I think this is where the hit She's Not There came from. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of the tracks were recorded live in Europe in 1976. The rest, 1, 2, 3, 4, the other half a dozen or so are studio tracks. They're all mixed together as well. It's not like one side's live, the other's studio. But always liked this album. Next we have Back to Country again, and the Outlaws' first album from 1975. This is a UK pressing. I like my country rock, and this has the superb Green Grass and High Tides on it, so I'm looking forward to that. After that, another favourite band, keep on saying that, Jefferson Airplane's Long John Silver. This was their final album under the name of Jefferson Airplane until the 80s reunion. Doesn't always get great reviews, but from what I remember of it, I liked it. This is a German pressing. I think the album came out in 72. This is a German pressing. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the cigar box cover like the original had, which would have been nice, but as I said before, it's the music that matters. And then back to another one, the Stones, Black and Blue. This was from 1976, and this was when I think they were trying out their new guitarist, and eventually went with Ron Wood. Now this is a Dutch pressing, and actually comes on blue vinyl. And this, a lot of people aren't keen on this album, but I really like it. I mean, it's got Memory Motel, Cherry or Baby, Hot Stuff, Hand of Fate, got Fool to Cry on there. I think it's a seriously good album. I'm pleased to have got that. Let's get it back in there. Up next we have America's first album. This is an early UK pressing. This is before they added Horse with No Name to the album, which is unfortunate because I love Horse with No Name and I would have liked it on here. But it's got one of my favourite tracks by them, Sandman. I don't know much of their music post, I think, the second or third album, but I've always liked this album. Coming towards the end, I think. Next up, the Everly Brothers, a double live reunion concert from 1983. I've always liked the sound of the Everly Brothers, but I've never ever owned anything by them. I don't know why, not even on CD. So when I saw this for £2, I thought I'd give it a go. This features Albert Lee again on guitar as part of their band, and it's got some great songs like Walk Right Back, Crying in the Rain, Bye Bye Love, Wake Up Little Susie, Kathy's Clown, Till I Kissed You. So I think this is going to be really good, as long as it's in decent condition. Next up, another double live album, again from probably an artist you might order. A lot of people might not be that keen on, David Essex. I thought some of his early singles were brilliant, and especially Rock On, which I still think is one of the great singles of all time. This is early in his career, I think before he started doing a lot of the show tunes and everything, but I mean, it's got Rock On it, and it's got Gonna Make You a Star, which is another great single. So I'm looking forward to hearing that and hearing how he does them live. Next, only 3 left. The first Steppenwolf album I've ever bought on vinyl. I've got 3 or 4 of them on CD, but this one, At Your Birthday Party, which is from 1969. So this is a 72 reissue from the States. I've never actually heard this album, but reading up about it, it gets good reviews. It's got a good review on AllMusic. And I've always liked Steppenwolf stuff, so I think this will be well worth hearing. Next to last, you have the Traffic album, Welcome to the Canteen. Another album I've never had, not even had it on CD, this one. Though I've got just about everything else by Traffic on CD, but not this one. This was, I think, done as a contract filler for when they were moving record label. And so that's why it doesn't mention anywhere Traffic on the sleeve. It just gives you the individual members at the time. This is a US pressing from 1971. I think this cost me £6, so I'm really pleased to find out, even though it's a cutout. Nice stuff. And what have we got finally? The first Bachman Turner Overdrive album from 1973. This cost me £5. I have one other album by them, which is the third one, Not Fragile, which is one of my favourite heavy rock albums of all time. I absolutely adore that album. So I'm hoping for good things from this one. I don't recognise any other tracks, but I'm really looking forward to that. Anyway, that's what I got from Kendal. Hope you found that of interest. Like I say, I'll try and do the next video, which will be all the new stuff I've been buying over the last month. I'll try and do that fairly soon. That one you might find a bit more interest. There might be one or two things you might not know. But thanks for watching. Have a good time. Bye.